Good morning. Our chapter today about integrated marketing communication in international and international advertising. And we are going to discuss the second part, which includes first, what are the effects of single European market on advertising? Second, what are the effects of limited media, excessive media, paper and equipment shortages, and government regulations on advertising and promotion budgets? Okay, let us discuss first legal constraints, which includes comparative advertising, advertising of specific products, control of advertising on TV, accessibility to broadcast media, limitations on length and number of commercials, internet services, and finally, special taxes that apply to advertising. Okay, we will start with linguistic limitation. And you should consider that language is one of the major barriers to effective communication through advertising. And translation challenges. Low literacy in many countries. Multiple languages within a country. And finally, in-country testing with the target consumer group avoids problems caused by linguistic differences. Culture diversity. And here the problem associated with communicating to people in diverse cultures present one of the great creative challenges in advertising. You should consider knowledge of culture diversity must encompasses the total advertising project, existing perceptions based on tradition are often hard to overcome. Subcultures, and finally, changing traditions. Media limitations. And here we note only that limitations on creative strategy imposed by media may reduce the role of advertising in the promotional program, and they may force marketers to emphasize other elements of the promotional mix. So, media limitations may reduce the role of advertising in the promotional program. Production and cost limitations. Here you should consider that there are severe production limitations such as poor quality printing and a lack of high-grade paper. Secondly, cost limitations. Low-cost reproduction in small markets poses a problem in many countries. The second point to be considered or to discuss: media planning and analysis. Here there is some tactical considerations, which includes availability, cost, coverage, lack of market data, newspapers, magazines, radio and TV, satellite and cable TV, direct mail, internet, mobile phone applications, and finally other media. Let us start with the first point, which is availability. One of the contrasts of international advertising is that some countries have too few advertising media and others have too many. And in some countries, certain advertising media are forbidden by government. And in many countries, there are too few magazines and newspapers to run all the advertising offered to them. The second point related to cost. Media prices are sensitive to negotiation in most countries. Agency space discounts are often split with the client to bring down the cost of media. and the advertisers may find that the cost of reaching a prospect through advertising depends on the agent's bargaining ability. Coverage. The problem of coverage. 2 points are particularly important. One relates to the difficulty of reaching certain sectors of the population with advertising, and the other relates to the lack of information about coverage. Lack of market data. The lack of available market data seems to characterize most international markets, and advertisers need information about income, age, and geographic distribution. But such basic data seem chronically elusive, except in the largest markets. Newspapers. The newspaper industry is suffering from lack of competition in some countries. Most US cities have just 1 or 2 major daily newspapers. But in many countries there are so many newspapers that can be used by advertisers. So he has trouble achieving even partial market coverage. Magazines. The using of foreign national consumer magazines by international advertisers has been notably low for many reasons. First, few magazines have a large circulation, and technical magazines are used rather extensively to promote export goods. But as with newspapers, paper shortages cause placement problems. Radio and TV. The availability varies between countries. Some countries don't permit any commercial radio or TV, but several of the traditional non-commercial countries have changed their policies in recent years because TV production is so expensive. And most adults view TV and listen to radio daily. Satellite and cable TV. Actually increasing the importance in TV advertising is the growth and development of satellite TV broadcasting. And advertisers and the governments are both concerned about the impact of satellite TV. And the governments are concerned because they fear further loss of control over their airwaves. Direct mail. Is a viable medium in an increasing number of countries. It is especially important when other media are not available. Internet. Internet has become an important medium for advertising and should be included in a company's possible media mix. The internet is used in business-to-business communications and promotion via catalogs, and product descriptions is rapidly gaining in popularity. And because a large number of businesses have access to the internet, so the internet can reach a large portion of the business-to-business market. Mobile phone applications. As the number of mobile phones continues to explode around the world, so do the number of applications available to users. So there is a big shift from holding a phone to your ear to holding it in your hand. And this opens the door of information services. And you should know that it is not the web, but it is a web of services that can be offered on mobile service devices. Because it allows consumers to ask questions and marketers to deliver answers in new ways. And finally, other media. Restrictions on traditional media or their availability cause advertisers to call on lesser media to solve particular local country problems. Okay, let us move to campaign execution and advertising agencies. And these can be managed by local domestic agency, company-owned agency, multinational agency with local branches. And what about compensation in this case? Commonly 15% throughout the wallet is acceptable. And some companies moving to reward by results. Okay, let me draw your attention to international control of advertising. Broader issues. And this includes consumer criticism, deceptive advertising, self-regulation, and finally government regulations. Okay, here is some question for discussion to examine your understanding to this part. Thank you and good luck.